Chapter 6. Ketty and Bob. Almost 2 months have passed since Ketty and her mother stay at the Vicuña Los Escobar hacienda. Manuel and his cousin have become inseparable due to their age and similar plans for the future, projects that they share in the afternoons under the eaves of the gallery. He assures her that he will visit her in California to see the great nation. While they are talking, Juan, the chauffeur, approaches to deliver a telegram brought by a messenger. Manuel reads aloud, "Invitation to the gala that starts the equestrian season." "Fantastic!" he exclaims. "I'll take you as a companion, so you can get to know the capital and we'll stay at a relative's house. Now, I'll bring you up to date with some family gossip about the Valdés Los Escobar, my other cousins I've written to you about. Matilita, the eldest daughter of our Aunt Maria Matilde and Federico Valdés, has a half-brother, Roberto, who was born when she was married. Back then, her father was a widower and had an affair with an unmarried girl, the daughter of the notary of a city in the north, La Serena. Her name was Esmeralda Cuellar. I don't know how many details, but when the child was born, instead of staying with the mother, my uncle Federico took charge, giving a half-brother to Matildita. Roberto was raised in the capital, with all the affection and condescension of her and her husband, who acted as adoptive parents, since Don Federico was very old. Thus, he grew up in the opulence of this family and never had contact with his mother. He was educated at the prestigious San Ignacio school, and there he rubbed shoulders with the cream of the Creole families. Because of his physical appearance and seductive charms, he acquired the fame of Valentino and spent his time playing polo, his favorite sport at the time. Ketty was excited about meeting these relatives and visiting the capital. Manuel looks at the time and says, "It's already past 10 o'clock. Let's go to sleep. Tomorrow we'll leave early to make the most of the day. We'll go straight downtown, to the lawyer's office, to find out how your inheritance is going." "Perfect," says Ketty. "Now I'll go pack my bag." When she gets to the bedroom, she takes out of the closet a hunter green silk taffeta suit, the same one she wore on a few nights of dancing on her trip to Chile. She opens a drawer of the hairdresser and takes out a black velvet case, where she keeps her necklace and tourmaline earrings set in platinum, inherited from her Aunt Catherine. She contemplates them, imagining that she will wear them at the gala, and closes the box again, hiding it among her clothes. The next day, Juan packs the suitcases and with the flannel gives the hood of the car a final wipe to make it look impeccable. On the way, Manuel continues updating Ketty, telling her more about his relatives who had settled in the north, taking advantage of the saltpeter boom. They set up export offices and increased their wealth considerably. While Ketty signs the last documents to receive her money, Juan waits parked in the center, where the most important firms and banks of the country are located. He entertains himself by watching the carriages, the streetcar, and the people passing through the streets from one side to the other. Some carry leather briefcases and others the newspaper under their arms. They go in and out of the buildings, and there are hardly any women on the street. After a while, he sees his employees approaching. He gets out of the car and opens the back door for them. Manuel says, "Let's go to the Valdés Los Escobar family home." Juan, who knows the route, takes Alameda Avenue to the west, arriving at Brazil Street. He turns right, and after several blocks, he parks in front of the mansion with a granite facade and marble steps. As he gets out of the car, he helps the young lady and the boss to get out. They go up the steps, cross the threshold of the gate, and arrive in front of the screen of tinted glass that obscures the view inside. Manuel rings the doorbell. Immediately, the butler appears, dressed in rigorous black, and greets them with a ceremonious bow. "Good afternoon, Master Manuel. How nice to see you here. Please, come in." "Thank you, Arturo." The man escorts them into the foyer, which is illuminated by a stained glass vault in the ceiling. He then leads them down a corridor to the main hall. "Take a seat. I'll let the lady know. The salon is exquisitely decorated in the French style. The fine brocado draperies are attached with thread cords to the ends of the windows, allowing the sunlight to penetrate. The living room set is Louis XV style, upholstered in petrol blue Aubusson silk, harmonizing with two elegant cobalt color Sevres porcelain vases that sit atop a fireplace. Katie admires such elegance, for her California lifestyle is less ostentatious. Suddenly, heels click on the marble floor, and a woman in a casual gray suit with an opera pearl necklace appears. "Hello," interrupts Matildita, hugging her cousin Manuel. "I'm so glad you're home." "Ketty, welcome. I was anxious to meet you personally because I know a lot about you by name." "Hi, me too, dear," replies Ketty. At that moment, the butler returns, bringing a silver tray with small crystal glasses in, which he pours Oporto and offers it to each person. "It is a perfect occasion to celebrate your stay in Chile," says Matildita. And Manuel adds, "In addition, Katie has just finished her inheritance paperwork." "Double motive then," Matildita exclaims. "Cheers!" They continue for a while, sharing the appetizer and experiences of Katie's trip until Arturo announces that it's time to move to the dining room, as lunch is ready. On the table, the elegant Bernard porcelain tableware awaits the diners. After tasting some exquisite oysters accompanied with a Sauvignon Blanc wine, the waiter serves a piece of salmon with capers and other vegetables. "Delicious!" exclaimed the guest. The after-dinner conversation lasts until late in the afternoon, tasting some candied fruits, cheeses, and mistela. Matildita is an excellent hostess, and the conversation flows from topic to topic until they are interrupted by the arrival of someone. It is a boy of about 25 years old, tall, thin, straight brown hair that falls on his forehead, revealing mischievous honey-colored eyes. Katie is struck by the appearance of this young man, dressed in a worn white shirt and white boots that look muddy, as he has just come from polo practice. He hugs Manuel with excitement and then takes Katie's soft hand, kissing it on the tips of his fingers. "Hi, Katie. I finally meet you. So many years waiting for your visit." She feels somewhere between self-conscious and flattered by the familiarity with which the newcomer greets her. Manuel says, "This is Roberto, the one I told you about." She associates it with the previous night's story. "What did my little cousin tell you? I hope good things," he jokes. She just smiles as Roberto apologizes for his appearance and leaves to clean himself with the intention of returning as soon as possible to the after-dinner conversation. "Roberto is my spoiled brother, almost like a son to me. He has been my companion when my husband is out of the country, like now. You will get to know him." Tomorrow, at the party at the Equestrian Club, Roberto will introduce you to a good group of young people from Santiago, says Matildita, as she rings the silver bell for Arturo to appear. "What does the lady want?" "Have the gentlemen's luggage been taken out to their respective bedrooms?" "Yes, ma'am." "Then lead them to the rooms, for they will want to rest." Katie, in her bedroom, while unpacking her things, keeps thinking about Roberto's figure. The next day was spent walking around with her host, getting to know the emblematic monuments of the capital. At dusk, countless carriages and some modern Ford cars are on their way down Blanco Encalada Avenue to the Equestrian Club to inaugurate the season. Only the most affluent of Santiago's elite attend this eagerly awaited social event. The young people arrive punctually, so the soiree and enter the room full of couples. Katie is startled to recognize among the crowd the silhouette of her friend Alicia. She approaches and they greet each other with a big hug. The boys know Alicia because of her illustrious surname and her constant appearance in the social notes of El Mercurio. The orchestra can be heard playing a dance tune. Katie looks out of the corner of her eye at Roberto, while he socializes with everyone. He looks very handsome in a dark gray blazer and fancy pants. He also wears a fine silk tie. His skin impeccably shaved and his hair neatly combed to the side, contrasts with the sweaty and disheveled young man of the previous day. Roberto approaches her while he's humming the melody played by the orchestra and takes her by the arm to lead her to the dance floor. At that moment, Katie smells the fresh pine scent coming from him. Feeling his arms around her, she lets herself be carried languidly to the music. He whispers in her ear, "You are so beautiful." She smiles and answers him, "You are so kind." The orchestra continues to play and they move slowly to the harmony of the violins. After several dance pieces, they return to the table, where Alicia and Manuel continue to talk and make plans to meet again, perhaps before Katie returns to California. "I'll organize a farewell get-together," says Alicia. It is after midnight when the two cousins return to the car, where Juan is waiting to take them home. Roberto stayed, as usual, until the end. Manuel comments to Katie, "Did you like the party?" "Yes, I had a great time. Tomorrow we will leave early to arrive to the country before sunset." The next day, everyone gathers in the large dining room for breakfast. Matildita asks, "How was the party? Any acquaintances?" "Yes, I was surprised to meet my friend from the trip, Alicia Larraín," replies Katie. "She is from the Larraín Barrios family, you know. You know his mother," Manuel commented. There were also the Irarrázaval family from Groneros. While they finish breakfast, the servants are busy arranging the luggage in the back of the car. Manuel gets up from the table and, looking at Katie, says, "Ready to go, miss?" "Sure." She replies without noticing that she has not done it in Spanish. Her mind is distracted by the figure of Bob, as she called Roberto the night before while they were dancing. Matildita wishes them a good trip and promises that when they return to Valparaíso to embark for California, Katie and her mother will stay with her in Santiago, so that they will have the opportunity to meet her and say goodbye to the both of them. "You are very kind. We will do so," the girl assures. At that moment, Bob approaches her and hands her a bouquet of flowers that he cut as he passed through the garden. "Here, take them with you along the way to keep you company. They are called forget-me-not." "Pardon?" she says. "Forget-me-not is the name of these little flowers." "Okay," she replies with a smile. The car starts up and drives off down the avenue, while Bob follows it with his eyes until he loses sight of it. Matilde asks him, "Were you captivated by the American girl?" "More than you can imagine, dear sister." Meanwhile, the young travelers relax and put their feet up on the small seat on the front. Both sleepy from the late night with the swing of the carriage, fall asleep for a good stretch of the road. Almost arriving to Los Alamos, Manuel wakes up and accommodates his cousin's head so that she can continue sleeping with her corsage held to her chest. After midday, they approach the Vicuña family lands. The driver takes the interior paths that lead to the house. "We have arrived, Master Manuel. We are home now." Manuel gently moves Katie to wake her up. "Get up, sleepyhead. It seems that the forget-me-nots made you dream." She answers with a smile. "I fell into a deep sleep. I didn't feel the ride." When the carriage stops, Aunt Inez and her mother get out to the driveway to greet them. "How was the capital, daughter? How did you like it?" "Yes, very nice. Also, we have been downtown in the lawyer's office. The money is ready. They will send the documents to the USA. Then we will coordinate the departure of this ship to leave as soon as possible," the mother informs. Katie listens without saying a word. She still has Bob in her thoughts. Micaela, since the morning, has been grating corn for the humitas, which are the favorite dish of her dearest boy, as well as the salads with vegetables from the garden that apparently were to the gringas liking. After savoring the appetizing lunch, they drink the usual cherry liquor during the after-dinner conversation. Katie and her mother talk about going home. Jane is anxious to get back. They already have what they came for, and enough time has passed away from the country she longs for. However, her daughter does not share this desire. But there are no options to extend the stay, as the last steamship of the season leaves in 10 days. One afternoon, while the cousins are seated on the front seat, a pair of horsemen mounted on spirited colts appear unexpectedly. Their faces are barely distinguishable, as they wear hats and scarves covering them to protect them from the dust of the road. The stoutest one dismounts in front of them. Manuel stands up and approaches to see the newcomers, steps away, almost on top of them, as the stranger uncovers his face. He recognizes his cousin, exclaiming, "You! Always surprising everyone! Why didn't you send a telegram to pick you up?" "That's what it's all about. I wanted to surprise," he says, looking mischievously at Katie, who recognizes his voice and gets up to greet him. They don't say a single syllable. They just hug each other intensely, sensing that they will never separate again. A desolate return. 30 days of sorrow, nostalgia, and loneliness. He tries to distract himself by contemplating the sunset at twilight. The nights are long and tedious. She sleeps only a few hours, getting up at dawn to watch the sunrise, when the sun begins to shine over the sea, giving the appearance of a silver mantle. The pain Jane felt for leaving her daughter devastated her. She had the intuition that she would never see her again, nor would she ever forgive her for not having returned along with her mother. She did not understand this madness of falling in love to the point that she lost her mind and given herself entirely to another being with whom she sensed, as a mother, she would not have a great future. Before leaving, she questioned him. "How will you live here when children come?" "I'll see, Mom," her daughter had replied. "What about your plans to study at the university? In this country I can do it too." "Alicia will do it," she replied with conviction. When she arrived in San Francisco, she thanked God for being home, waiting for her sister, Catherine, who had always been her support. She told her what had happened with Katie and about her daughter's stubbornness. However, her sister consoled her, telling her, "Let her be. Time will tell. Besides, she has the money her father left her, and if she needs it, it will support her." Meanwhile, Katie was determined to make her life in this distant land by following the commands of her heart. So intense was their romance that they soon become engaged. Aunt Inez took care of all the wedding preparations and contacted a civil registry official to seal the hasty engagement. Only those of the house and Matilita and her husband, who traveled from Santiago to accompany them, attended. However, Matilita sensed that the union between Katie and Roberto has been too hasty. After all, she knew about her brother's instability and his bon vivant character. That night it was all celebration. Glasses of champagne gave entrance to a delicious meal. Dessert was a wedding cake prepared by Micaela with candied fruit, nuts, and orange liquor, covered in almond marzipan. Earlier, the housemaid had told Katie that this cake would be the omen of good luck in their new life. That same night, after the party, her brand new husband surprised everyone, including Katie, by announcing that they were going to live in Limache, where Bob had a small plot of land ideal for starting a family. The next day, Aunt Inez sent Juan to load the car with countless gifts, such as sheets, towels, blankets, crockery, and other household items. They will come in hand, child, for your new home. I will miss you. I had grown accustomed to your company. You've been the daughter I didn't have. Kitty hugged her excitedly and kissed her on the cheek. They lived in Limache for 7 years, and 3 of their children were born. The youngest, named Tom, was born in 1910, and by synchronicities of life, at that time hundreds of kilometers to the south, a girl named Rosalinda was born. Chapter 7. An Exceptional Woman. Rosalinda was born in Concepcion, in southern Chile, in 1908, into a conservative family. Her father was a strict provider who always gave orders and was right in everything, without arguments. Her mother limited herself to obey, to teach good manners, respect, and household chores. She was the firstborn of 8 siblings, which forged her natural sense of authority and leadership. She was responsible for making sure that her siblings cooperated with the tasks assigned by their mother. She also organized the games and outings around the farm. Her father was the administrator of a large hacienda in Linares. As she grew older, she liked to come over to listen to the conversations he had with other hacienda owners, a thing that made him very angry, since business was not a woman's matter. Rosalinda had to hide behind the doors to listen to the part of the long conversations where the man made important decisions. This was how she molded her independent character and a strong personality for her time. Already as a child, she had become advanced ideas that anticipated the woman she would become. On her 17th birthday, she told her father, "Can we go to the store to buy me silk stockings and half-heeled shoes?" They were the accessories that were in fashion. Her father looked at her over his glasses, frowned, and replied, "No, you're not old enough to wear sheer stockings yet." "Why not?" replies the teenager girl who already felt like a woman. "Because I say so, Rosalinda. I'm old enough. All my classmates use them. Soon I'll finish high school and enroll in college. University!" exclaimed Don Orlando, banging on the desk. "Of course," Rosalinda answered. "I will study and become a professional." "Don't even dream about it," said the father, who was burning with rage at his daughter's rebelliousness. With a sniffle, Rosalinda left the library while Don Orlando continued to grumble at his desk. The next morning, father and daughter met in the dining room for breakfast. Rosalinda said good morning to all the diners, but her father did not answer in order to make her aware of the previous day's displeasure. Rosalinda savored a sip of coffee and milk, looked at him, and insisted, "Father, shall we go to the store today for my gifts?" "No, I've already told you what I think and I won't change my mind. I don't like you questioning my decisions," he replied as he stormed off out of the dining room. The mother, who was silently listening to the dispute, got up from her chair and approached her daughter. "Daughter, don't contradict your father. Don't you see that you're driving him out of his mind? Mom, my father has to understand that I'm no longer a child and I'm not like you, who obey him in everything." The weeks passed, the school season ended, and she graduated with honors. Now she had to make plans to enroll in college. She again asked her father to accompany her on these errands, but he flatly refused. He would not endorse her in the folly of attending a place that was for men only and moreover with revolutionary ideas. "Father," she begged him, "I'm going to prepare myself for life. Can't you understand that times change?" But he repeated, "No and no. You will not go as long as I can stop you." "All right," said Rosalinda, holding back the tears. "I'll do it my way. It will be harder for me, but I'll do it." She turned his back on him and left the room. Ariel, the eldest of the men, was the one who accompanied her, his sister, in all the pre-university procedures, and also to visit his godfather, a wealthy philanthropist who received them with satisfaction, as he maintained close ties with the family. Rosalinda told him of her plans and asked for his help. The man, who had no descendants and found his goddaughter's determination admirable, told her, "I will take care of your studies. You just have to promise that you will finish them, and you will be a great professional." Rosalinda's face lit up at the real possibility of fulfilling her dream, and she vowed to be an exemplary dental surgeon.